Hello, everyone. This is Melanie from Lake Beach Treasures, and I have a funny ranting story that I want to talk to you about. Please indulge me in a moment because maybe somebody could correct me and say that I'm the villain. But I really want to know, what would you do in this situation? All right, so a little backstory. I used to work in a bank. Worked as a bank manager. I also worked as an assistant vice president. In fact, at one point, I even was the manager of five different locations to a branch with over 1,000 employees underneath. But that's not me trying to boast. Basically, I know the inner workings of how a bank works and how things need to happen. So that's why I don't like banks. Don't like going to banks. I deal with online banks. I love my online banks. I don't have to see people. I don't have to talk to people. Well, one of my online bank accounts unfortunately went through not one, not two, not three, went through four takeovers. And believe it or not, it went through four takeovers in a 4 month time span. It was the most hilarious thing. It started out with one bank. That bank bought out another bank. And then that bank bought out another bank. And then that bank bought out another bank until it ended up not being an online account. It ended up being an actual bank. So that's the little backstory to this. So when I finally figured out where my money went, which ends up being an actual building, it turns out the nearest location is approximately an hour drive away. I contacted customer support, which I was on the phone for a good hour and a half, hour and a half, on the phone for an hour and a half just to get to a customer support for them to tell me that, oh, we're sorry. We don't have any information on you in the system. You need to go into a branch and show your ID in order to close this account out. So I'm like, okay, where's the nearest branch is an hour away. So sure enough, it just so happens that when I was going to the doctor with my husband, the bank was within that area. I says, hey, let's go stop at the bank so I can close this account out. And when I go stop at the bank is closed. The reason that they're closed is because they had a flood or blackout or some sort of generator break, and they have no idea when they're gonna. So I'm like, this is just my luck. The one time that I'm actually in the area to actually close my account out, I can't close it out because they're flooded. So now it turns out I had to go to the doctor again within the same vicinity. So it's time for me to go to the bank. I go to the bank, and when I walk in, I see one, two, three, four, and somebody else, and a whole line of tellers staring at me. And I said, "Hi, I would like to close my account out." And the person's like, "Oh, let me check you in," which I'm assuming she was the head teller. Fine. She sits at the desk. She checks me in to go speak to a customer service representative. So I'm like, great. Now I have to wait. Now it happens to be that there was one representative who was talking to an individual, which is fine. But I'm thinking to myself, one, two, three. All the rest of them, not one of them can close my account out. Okay, fine. And they tell me go have a seat. So I check in, I have a seat, I'm sitting down, and I'm just staring into space. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to be here. I hate being in banks. I hate being in banks. But that's my story. So finally, after 20 minutes, because yeah, I'm sitting there for 20 minutes and nobody else is helping me. The guy finally gets up, have a nice day, blah, blah, blah. So he comes over and says, hi, can I help you? And I says, yes, I would like to close my online account. So he sits down, he pulls me up and blah, 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 takes my information, looks at my driver's license. Oh, you're from this town. Yes, I drove all the way from this town to get to this bank. And he says to me, if I knew, and this is what he says to me, I kid you not, and I wanted to punch him in the face. He says to me, if I would know that you were going to be driving from there, I would have told you to stop at all stops and grab me a burrito. And I looked at him like my mouth, first of all, is he, I mean, I'm assuming he's trying to be funny. I'm really assuming he's trying to be funny. He's trying to, but I'm staring at him as to what the hell kind of joke is that? You're telling me, a customer who you've never seen before, you want me to get you a fucking burrito? And not only get you a fucking burrito, get it at a gas station that the burritos have been sitting there for God knows how long. It tastes disgusting and filled with nothing but salt and preservatives and all kinds of shit in there. And you want me. And I'm saying to myself, okay, I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. So I just left and I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, can we fucking get this done with? So of course, he's tap, 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 tap on the computer as if it should take so long to close an account. Tap, 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 tap. He then starts doing this weird jittery thing like he's on crack or something. I mean, this is the same shakes that somebody who has taken, I don't know, like too much crack or decided to take meth or something. So he starts having this, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, please. He's not going to have like some sort of seizure or something like that. And then he's like bouncing up and down. So he turns to the other woman who's sitting at the desk and he says to her while he's typing, and this is no joke, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with these people? He says to her, he says, 3 luces. And she's looking at him, huh? And even I'm looking at him, 3 luces? And he starts cracking up laughing. 3 luces. Like, 3 luces is supposed to talk about something. So this is what he says. He says, I was watching a TikTok video this morning, and this guy, instead of saying tres leches for his birthday, wanted a 3 luces cake. And I mean, I guess she felt the same attitude that I have, like, what the hell is wrong with you? And she's like, and she walks away from him. And I'm looking at him, and he's like cracking up laughing because there's a TikTok video on some guy who wants a 3 luce cake for his birthday. And I'm thinking to myself, can we just get this done with? Seriously. So finally, he does his thing. Tap, 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 tap. He goes, he closes out the account, has me sign the paper, does all that fancy things, and has me on my way. So now I'm like, oh, and that was what? I was in the bank for, I don't know, 40 minutes? 40 minutes for something that literally should have taken less than 5 minutes. So I'm already aggravated to begin with. So then, of course, I want to go to my happy place. I want to go to a happy place. I decide to go to Goodwill. And you know something? I will never understand. I mean, okay, I understand, like, maybe your jobs may be boring. Working in a bank is a boring job, so you want to converse with people. But why do cashiers need to converse with you? I'm in there for a reason. I want to get my shit. I want to pay for it. I want to get the hell out of there. I do not want to have a conversation with the cashier. I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to be snobbish or anything like that. My goal is, and I mean, I wish I could wear a sticker that says, seriously, don't talk to me. I got things to do. And they start this whole conversation to the point, and not only is she talking to me, she's trying to talk to everybody. It's like, focus on my transaction. You have a bunch, because I was getting a whole bunch of stuff. Just ring up the stuff. You don't need to talk to me. You don't need to have a conversation. You don't need to tell me your life story. I mean, I have gotten more life stories from cashiers standing online when I'm just trying to get the hell out of there. I mean, I don't care about their boyfriend. I don't care about their medical issues. I don't care about their family. I don't care about what they watched on TV or what they ate. To me, that is totally inappropriate. If I went up to the cashier and say, hey, I would love to hear how you farted last night because you ate too much beans or something, then I can understand having a conversation. But if I'm dead silent and I just want to pay for my transaction and go, why the hell are you talking to me? And I mean, like I said, is it my face? Do I look like the sweet face that I want to hear about your flatulence problems? Is that what it is? Is it that I give off vibes that says, "Hey, just tell me your life story because I want to know exactly what's going on every moment of your life." No, I want to get my shit. I want to get the hell out of there. I want to hop on the road and get home. That's where I want to go. I want to go home. So that is my little rant for today. And you know something? My day hasn't even ended. I literally just walked in the door. It's already 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I have so much shit to do. And all I want to do is just get my stuff done. So tell me, am I the villain? Possibly. I don't know. Is it really a villain that I just want to, when I go to the store, I just simply want you to ring up my items and just not talk to me? I mean, if you want to say have a nice day or thank you for coming or something like that, that's fine. If you want to say, is there anything else? That's fine. I don't want to hear about your boyfriend. I don't want to hear about your farting problems. I don't want to hear about your back pain. I don't want to hear about your family. I don't want to hear about what you saw on TV. I don't care that you want a burrito because you're hungry. I don't care that you saw a TikTok video. I don't care about that. What I care about is that you accurately ring up my items and then you don't look at me like an idiot when I give you the change to cover the items so I don't have to. So, for example, if my item comes out to, I don't know, like $11.50, and I decide to give you $21.50, you don't look at me and say, you gave me too much money. You know something? You have a little computer, you have the little cashier, punch in the number, it'll tell you exactly how much you have to give me. Seriously, it will. So there's a reason that I want a $10 bill back. Okay, anyway, that was my little rant. I'm sorry, but I'm curious. Do you have problems like this? Do you guys go out and about and do you have these issues where people just want to talk to you and all you want to be is left alone and just get your stuff and get out of there? Because that's how I feel. But until then, everyone, we are going to have a sale tomorrow night, so I'm hoping to look forward to everyone then. Have a great night. Take care. Until next time, this is Melanie with Lightbeam's Treasures.